Hiya, it's Kerry from Mobilates. I hope you're having a good week. It's very much end of summer feel, isn't it? We've had that long weekend and the weather is sort of up and down. We've got the sunshine after the rain now, but I feel autumn is calling. Changes, there's sort of changes of life, and I can feel in the place that I live, life is just about a change away from holiday makers and back to sort of term time and students and things like that. So in that season of change, so should we get ourselves moving? All through the seasons we've got to keep ourselves moving and keep our bodies comfortable. So for this class we're going to do a mix of standing or sitting and lying down or sitting, depending on what works best for you. So I'll just keep moving between the different things. And there's a little bit in all directions in this class today. I'm trying to move everything forwards, backwards, to the sides, around. We'll start with a circle. So this is a little bit balancy. You might need to touch something first. So we're just going to move weight onto one leg, and then with the other leg, we're just circling around that front half of the foot. Oh, I can see people have come in already. Let me come a little bit closer. Who's come in? Oh, Jackie's in. Hello, Jackie. Nice to have you here. And then we'll circle around the other way. And then we're going to swap to the other side. So remember, you can be holding on to something with this. And then circle the other way. I'm just checking for the comments. A whole flurry of comments have just come in. And then we're going to circle the pelvis around. So if you're standing, you could do a figure eight if you're feeling very fancy. I don't think I'm up to a figure eight. Is that Christine there? I think it is. Hello. So I'm just going for a sort of circle. And then if you're doing this sitting, you very much feel it underneath on your buttocks and your thighs. You're just circling around. You can feel the pelvic bones at the bottom. And then change to the other direction with your circle. And whichever position you're in, we're now going to bring our legs into a parallel position, so feet pointing forwards, and there's a gap between our feet around big enough for a book. And if you're sitting, it's about 2 fists between the knees. If you're sitting, get right up on the bottom of your pelvis, the sit bones that sort of stick out the bottom. And I'm just feeling with my hands, I can feel those sort of nubbly bits. I'm going to sit right up on them, and it makes me sit up really tall, and that's what I like. So now we'll take a breath in, and as we breathe out, I want you to roll back off those sit bones and take your belly back as well. And then roll forwards. Now we're rolling forwards onto this squishy bit of our thighs. Rolling back and rolling forwards. And if you are standing, you might put a hand on the back, hand on the belly, just to give something to feel. And if you could put it, not rather than your back high up, the back of your bottom, so you're on the sacrum. That's the breathing out, that's the breathing in. So you can see this line, hemline of my t-shirt. We're just working that lumbar, that low part of our spine. That's it. So we've had a circle for the pelvis, a forwards and backwards. Right, let's work up to the top of the body. Let's do something for the head. So we'll tap the head, take the face back. You might even rub the bridge of your nose, or you could rub just under your nose. Take those sensations back. Invite a few of the little chins that hide underneath. And now we'll have a turn side to side. Come back to the center, and we're going to grab hold of the collarbone here, like a little handle, and just wrap your fingers on it and hold it downwards. And now we're pushing away. So you can roll around and push away. You can diagonally sort of push your chin away, push the back of your head away. And so it's not a collapse or letting your head fall back. It's this, you're really pushing the air with the top of your head. And you can feel a little bit of tension there as the skin tightens, and you can feel the muscles and the tendons. And then we'll do the same on the other side. And then some sort of roll or stroke, something that feels nice. So you might give yourself just a little stroke. I like a sort of half circle horseshoe shape roll like this. And then we'll just start to give our shoulders a roll. A little forwards, a little back. If it feels okay, you might make it bigger. And then we're going to do a sort of opening up. So we'll bring the elbows close to each other. Don't worry if you can't get your elbows to reach. Sometimes if your chest projects far at the front, it's harder to bring your arms together. And we're just going to open out and in. And then we could, if you're comfortable to, take your hands just behind the head. I barely touch my head when I do this because I don't like to push my head forwards, and I know that's what I'll tend to do. So we'll let the elbows come closer. I don't think mine are going to meet, and then they're going to open out. So this is very similar to the last one we've done. It's just a bit higher up. So you can always go back to this option. And then let's get a slight little turny circle. The thighs, the hips, the legs are moving as we give our arms a little swish around. And on the chair, keep your legs wide. I'm just sort of wriggling the sides of my hips. You could even put a foot out here and a foot out here, and that puts less twist on your waist. So if you've got osteoporosis or osteopenia and you're looking for a smaller rotation, you could make it smaller, just concentrating this area over your legs here. Or you could move your legs outwards to the side. I think I prefer this version. And then that's a rotational movement. Now we're going to take it up and down, so forwards and backwards. Bring the legs inwards. If you're on a chair, you're sat at the front third or half. We'll all take our arms up. So if you're standing, it's just arms up, your legs are wider. And you're stretching your body upwards. If you can go here, that's where you go. If you can go all the way up towards the ceiling, that's where you go. And your chest goes upwards. Then we're going to slowly come forwards and take the arms back behind us. The back stays straight, and then we'll come up. You can send your chest up to the ceiling. So we're doing these slowly. As you come forwards, feel the weight go into your legs and press your feet into the floor. And then you can push into your feet to bring you up. So push into your legs to help power you on this one. You can always have the arms a little smaller like this, so they're not so extended. As if you've got a sore low back, that can be nice. This is the standing version. Oh, I try not to brush my arm against the chair every time. And one more. And now we're going to go a little side to side. So keep your feet wide. You can turn them out a little if you like. Keep your feet down, equal sort of weight. We're not going to shift side to side. And if you're seated, keep your bum down. So that's not going to shift side to side either. Right, now we're going to do a sort of teapot side bend. You straighten your hand up the side to make the handle and reach the spout outwards. Come up tall, maybe a coffee pot in between, you know, I'm thinking of those 70s tall coffee pots. That's it. And one more. And then from this position, we're going to place our hands on our thighs. And if you're standing, you're going to send your bum back like you're trying to shut a door or a drawer with it, and let your hands slide down, and then let your hands slide up as your hips come forwards. If you're doing this seated, similar. So your hands slide forwards, back stays straight, and then they slide back up. They slide forwards, not really pressing down with my hands. You could, if you wanted, especially on that coming back up, you could press up with your hands. If you just slide your core, your belly muscles are doing more of the work. If you press into your hands here, your arms are doing more of the work. And then we're going to hold it. So we're going to come forwards in a place where we can hold it. One hand on the thighs. I'm going to widen my legs even more. Bringing a hand out, palm down. It's like it's on a table and it's clearing or dusting or wiping. And you're going side to side. So osteoporosis and osteopenia, keep a small range of motion. You don't want too much twist. You just want enough that you keep that motion available to you. You could think about using your feet as a guide for the range of movement. If you're comfortable to move further, you might go further out to the side. And then bring your hands back to your legs. Bring yourself upwards. I'm going to demonstrate this one standing as well. So I'll send the bum back stays straight. Hands are now pushing into my thighs, and now it's this arm. Now it will reach outwards. And then come up tall. Now we're going to bring the legs closer together. There's a gap between them, but they're closer than they have been. And we're going to look ahead and find something to stare at. So above my camera monitor here, I've got a little picture. I'm just going to stare at that. So I'm just looking above. And as I do that, I'm going to take my weight into one side. And this side, I'm just going to rotate it in and out, just spiraling, turning outwards on the ball of my foot and growing a little taller. If you're seated, it's going to look very similar. You could even work your legs closer together. And leave that leg in turn out. Now I'm looking at the picture. I'm just turning this way and looking at it over here. Now I'm going to keep looking at it, but I'm going to turn my head slowly to one side with my eyes still on it, and then slowly to the other side with my eyes still on it. So all the time, I'm just keeping track of it. And I'm just doing this very slow side to side, like I'm saying no. And then come back to the center, look at it. And now we're going to go up and down and say yes. Your eyes always stay on the picture. You can just feel your head's moving as your eyes stay on it. Last one. 4. Then let your eyes just go somewhere where it's blank bit of wall. Bring your legs down, have a little wriggle. We're going to repeat that on the other side. So I'm going to repeat this one standing. So I'm going to work this leg. So I'm looking at my picture again. I'm going to spiral this leg in and out a little and grow a little taller. See, I was just starting to shift that one out and just get all the... So I'm going to grow a little taller. That's it. Keep looking at your picture. Now I'm going to keep that leg turned outwards. I might even bring this foot a little closer into this leg. That makes it a bit more wobbly. Could put your toe on the floor. Could put your arms out to the side. Now I'm looking at my picture. I'm going to start with the yes first. So this is the up and down movement of the head. Keep pushing into this weight-bearing leg and growing taller. And now the no, the side to side. Oh, that's the one. Feels a bit more wobbly. And then take your foot down. Oh, give your eyes a rest. Give yourself a little shake out. And then we're going to do a little push forwards and backwards. I'm going to keep it dynamic. Work one side. So I'm going to take one arm forwards. The other one's going to be hand on my hip. And then I'm going to take it backwards. And I'm going to let that leg move with it. So this is a little twisty turn. If I show you from this side here, you can see I'm just doing this little twist as my leg moves. If you've got a spine that shouldn't really rotate very much, can you turn your leg, oh, I'm going the wrong way there, out to the side as you do it. So you see my foot moves out to the side. This puts a lot less twist on your waist, but still gives you a bit of turn. And then the other side. And I'll show you seated as well. My heel comes up as the elbow goes back on this side. And then to finish this section, we're just going to go back to that thigh swishing, sliding, or the hands just out there. Or if you're standing, just moving your arms and moving your hips and your legs, feeling the air. And make it slower. And then we're going to take it down to the floor. Oh, hello, Irene. Just seeing you've joined us as well. I missed that, sorry. Right, just sneaking in a drink. We're going to take it down to the floor or into your chair. Either way, a pillow is nice for either behind your back or behind your head. There we go. So if you're lying down, please take your time getting there. And once you've got to a lying down place, you want to take your time settling into it as well. So it might be a little roll, particularly your legs swaying. You might want to check that you've got the right support under your head, the right cushion. Everything feels comfy. If you're sat in the chair, that you've got maybe a cushion behind your back. You can give your feet a little pump. That's it. And then we'll place our hands on our belly. Let's have a hand on a belly and hand on our high chest. And we're going to breathe in and feel expansion, particularly in this low hand, but both hands are going to get some expansion. So as you breathe in, you're trying to make yourself just bigger inside, like there's a cylinder inside you and you're just pushing it outwards all at the edges. And as you breathe out, just feel that pressure release. Trying to wriggle any tension out of your shoulders, out of your legs. And one more breath like that. And then you can place both hands around the hip bones and the low belly. And now we're going to do some pelvic tilt. So you might be in a different position, especially if you're on the floor. We're going to take a breath in, just like we've done, that expansive, wide breath all around our insides, our ribs. You can feel it in the low belly. And as you breathe out, we're sinking down at the waistband. We're tipping our bottom, our pelvis upwards. Breathing in, we're rocking forwards. If you're doing this on the chair, it's on the sit bones and you're rocking back and then you're rocking forwards onto your thighs. That's it. And this is one of those exercises every day, maybe several times a day. I don't think there's ever a day when I don't do these. Sometimes if I'm in the bath, I do them in the bath as well. Certainly do them in bed. And when you've done something like hurt your back, this is often one of the first things that you do, is just have a little wriggle like this. And it might be super small when everything hurts, but just to get that little bit of movement back. Motion is lotion, they say. And then let that go. Have a little wriggle, have a little side to side. Right, where am I going next? Some leg slides, I think. So we'll have arms down by the sides, might be touching the sides of the chair. And if you're on a chair, if you're seated or on the edge of your bed, Could you sit right at the edge so that your legs can move forwards? We're going to take a breath in. And as you breathe out, slide a leg away from you and then slide it back. Now, nothing else moves, just the legs. If the breathing it's like too much for your brain, just breathe whenever you want to. And we're moving the legs forwards and backwards. Now you could completely slide. You can hear the noise as I slide my feet along. Or you might slide a bit. Or you could hover. And it's just your foot, the sole of your foot, that comes back at the end. Next one's different. Slide away, bring it back. This time we bring it back and we're coming into a tabletop. So this is your tabletop if you're lying down, the sort of L-shaped 90-degree leg off the floor. If you're sitting, it's going to be extending your leg away, bringing it back, and your leg's just going to hover. Your foot's going to hover off the floor, and then you put it down. It just becomes a bit more effort. And you might rest your hands on your belly and just check that everything's really super still there. And one more. And then if you're sitting on a chair, could you move to the very back of your chair? We're going to bring our arms either up towards the ceiling if you're lying down, or ahead if you're sitting. So they're just directly pointing ahead. Palms are facing each other. We're going to reach that arm a little longer. So I'm doing this one closer to the screen, and it's like I'm reaching towards the ceiling. If I'm sitting, it's like I'm reaching towards a wall. And the shoulder just leaves the back of the chair or the back of the mat or wherever you're lying on. Going to pop it down. And then the other arm. Nothing else happens. So I don't bend my arms like this. Everything just stays in position. I lift that shoulder up so my arm can stretch a little longer. And then the other arm. Maybe both arms. And as you do that, leave your back ribs against the floor, against the back of the chair. And it'll feel like your shoulders are sort of trying to escape. They're yearning away from you. And then they come back home. Yearn away and come back home. Now we can change this with the legs. So if you are seated, you could raise a heel or hover your foot off the floor. If you're lying down, you can bring a leg up to a tabletop and just do one or two with either both arms or alternate arms, reaching ahead, and then we'll change legs. So it feels like the arms and the shoulders are going away, the legs up in the air, but the back and the belly and the back of your pelvis, back of your sacrum, that's all staying where it is. And then take that down, have a little wriggle. Take your legs wider. If you're lying down, open your arms out. If you're seated, open one arm out. We're all going to put a hand on our chest. And now we're going to reach the arm across. Now, if you've got any osteopenia or osteoporosis in your spine, just a little reach so you can feel your shoulder comes away from the mat, but you're not going to twist very far. If you haven't and you're comfortable to twist further, you can either twist your body like this, or if you're lying down, your whole body can roll over to the side. And that works with osteoporosis and osteopenia as well. It depends on what your back likes and how comfortable it is to roll as well. So we're just going to one side a few times. And then we're going to go to the other side. So you'll get the other movement this way. You'll be able to see the view of the shoulder. So I could do this so my legs stay where they are. It's just my arms. I can do this so everything, my foot helps push me over. And if I'm doing this seated, it's going to look like that. And then we're going to roll onto one side. Not if you're seated, obviously. I'll show you what the seated one looks like. We'll just do the
lying down one first. And for this one, I like to bend my arm and sort of use my cushion. So I'm right on my side, my feet, soles of my feet in line with my back. Now you can see this U shape here and things sort of bowing down. For this, I'm going to put a hand on my hip and just push my bum and hips downwards. So this sort of straightens everything up and makes everything more in line. I'm going to lift this top leg up, bring it towards me, and then away from me, like I'm pushing something down my feet, and the bottom leg's pressing into the floor. Now, as I do this, I'm not changing the shape of my back. If I'm doing this seated, it's going to look slightly different. I'm on the edge of my chair. One leg is going to stay where it is, this one. The other leg, I'm going to push my heel away, bring my toes up, and then bring it back. Push my heel away and bring it back. Now I could, if I'm comfortable, to lift my leg first and then lift and sort of like a heel dig, extend it away. Could do that. Lifting it up, pushing it forwards. Lifting it up, and then it's like pushing it forwards, like you're putting the brakes on in a car. And last one. And we'll have a little wriggle and just ease that off. So you might give your legs a stroke. Then we're going to do something with this arm. So we could do a little forwards, a little back. So we could do that movement. Or you could do like a circle or an arc. Now, when I'm sat on this sofa, if you're sat on a sofa in a bed, this sort of sofa in the bed's a bit in the way. So I would go for like a little push and pull, like you're reaching outwards and then you're pulling backwards. If you're sat on a chair at the side edge and you've got more space, you could reach behind you and reach up and go for more this sort of part circle. And you could reach outwards and your arm could bend and just get that movement going. If you're doing this lying down, we could bring the legs a little further forwards. You could reach forwards and pull back, and you can feel there's a little roll of the body as you do that. Or you could sweep the arm downwards and sweep it up. You might do a little roll back. Oh, I can feel all the clunks in my shoulders as I do that. That's better. You could even lean back as you do it and then roll back onto your side. We're just putting some movement into the shoulder, a little bit into the waist. Last one, and then we're going to repeat this on the other side. So I'm going to switch over. Legs are bent. We're right up on our side. I'm going to do my sort of beach lying down first and get that scoop feeling there. And then I'm going to push into my hips and now tightens this area up and gets my spine all in line. Check your neck is comfortable. And I'm just going to bring my feet back so they're in line with my spine as well. Right, first pressing this leg down, lifting this top leg, bring it into the chest. We're not rounding. It's not like this. The back stays the same. So you're just going to bring that knee inwards and then push it down. Bring it up. So it might be you stay here. For the hip replacement, they often don't recommend that your leg comes up very high towards your chest. So it might look more like this. But otherwise, you might bring it higher. And I'm keeping my foot pretty flat as I do this. So when I push away, I can really push. And one more. And then ease off. And now we're doing something with the shoulder, maybe with the waist. So you might change so your arm comes out here. You could keep this cushion here like that if that's how you prefer it. I'm going to try with the arm out this side. A little push and pull. And I'm letting the body sort of rock with this. The legs are allowed to move. Or you could do that swoopy arm. I can't go too far backwards because I start crashing into the sofa. So you could shorten your arm, touch your shoulder. That's a bit softer for the shoulder as well. You can see I'm sort of rocking backwards and forwards as I do it. Oh, that feels nice. Last one. And then if you are lying down, lie back. If you're seated, come to the edge of your chair, and we're all going to take our legs a bit wider. We're just going to let our knees go one way and then the other. Arms can be outwards, they can be resting on you or holding the chair. And now the head's going to roll the opposite way, if that's comfortable for you. If it's not, just leave it as it is. And then we'll walk the legs back, so give them a little pivot back inwards. I'm going to come up to sitting, so I'm rolling onto my sides and pushing upwards for this. And to finish, we'll give the shoulders a roll. We'll give the neck a roll. We'll wiggle a little taller. Take your palms out to the side, scoop up the air till your hands touch. Maybe reach a little higher. Bring your hands into your chest. Well done, everybody. So I'll see you next week. I think we're in September then. Have a lovely weekend. I'll see you soon. Bye.